Day 62. The first time I fell in love with money, it nearly cost my soul. Yesterday, I told you about how important it is to save money into your 401k. I told you about 8 out of 10 of Americans who are a millionaire, they achieve the millionaire status through 401k or through employer sponsor retirement plan. So there are bigger chances to become a millionaire through your workplace than to become a entrepreneur. So there's hope there. So I told you that I put 15% into my 401k, and that's one of the biggest blessing for me, personally, financially speaking. And I had no problem putting 15% because, like I told you yesterday, that from being a kitchen staff to a IT coworker with all the overtime being available, 15% wasn't too much. Or was it? There's a term called lifestyle creep in America. Unfortunately, it's surprisingly common. What that means is most people would use their increase on spending, housing, or whatever that is, instead of saving for the retirement or investing for the retirement. 80%. So that means 80% of us here watching this video, most of my audience, most of you guys here are from America. So unfortunately, 80% of us would choose to increase their lifestyle spending when we have increase on our salary. So we need to change that if you want to have a better retirement future. So now, that doesn't make me a saint. I also make plenty of mistakes. One of the biggest mistake I made was buying a timeshare. Now, I know timeshare has its good and bad. I'm not going to say that it's not for everybody, but it wasn't for me. I wasn't ready. I actually bought timeshare because I want to feel like I'm a rich guy. I wanted to feel like I made it. I can afford luxury vacations. And I did, and I actually paid the whole thing in cash. Like within a month I paid the whole thing. So it wasn't like I couldn't afford it. But again, it didn't feel right. So that was one of the biggest mistakes I made in my earlier career, earlier journey in America. And I also want to say that chasing money made me lost purpose. Now, I told you that when I was in the kitchen staff, I was focused. What I mean by that is I wanted to be a chef manager. So the step to become chef manager was, okay, I gotta know everything in the kitchen. I gotta know the inventory. I gotta know how to do this, do that. Salad prep, grill cook, sous chef, and chef manager. So that was the step. But when I was in the system testing environment on third shift, there was, most people that I hang out with pretty much just in for the money. It was okay, I have overtime, I want to do this and that. So now again, I was young, I had more juice, right? I wanted to do something more, just a paycheck. But I felt like I got drifted away from that too. Oh, money was good, I need to buy this, I know, buy that, right? But somehow I lost it. What I mean by that was like, what was the purpose? And I talked to one of my good friends on third shift, and he was telling me that, Chi, you're still young. If you want to move on, you want to climb up the ladder, you cannot be on third shift. You have to go to first shift. And I wasn't sure why. I said, well, why can't I do it on third shift? Nobody was here. I mean, like, you have to go to the meeting, you have to do this, do that, extra work besides your work, with your work. That's how you move on. Now, in that particular company, you cannot just go from third shift to first shift. It's just not the culture. You have to go from third shift to second shift, from second shift to first shift. And after listening to him, I look into the whole thing. It actually makes sense. So I applied going to second shift. It took them a year for them to improve the whole process, which was fine. Like it's not you can. And I did my part. I worked there. I worked on third shift for 18 months, and move on to second shift, and that's pretty much it. Second shift, I knew it was just a stepping stone. My goal was to get to first shift. By the time I get to first shift, then I might have a chance to move to the next level. That's what I have for today. Until then, I hope to see you tomorrow. Catch you later. Bye.